Perfection, such a fragile word for such a dangerous pursuit. We dress it in white coats and prayer beads, hide it behind the smile of a surgeon, or the devotion of a man who believes his hands were chosen for holy work. But beneath every pursuit of purity lies decay. Some obsessions rot the heart, others rot the flesh. Tonight's chronicle is a confession, a whisper from the sterile light of the dental chair, where devotion meets anatomy, and prayer is spoken not in words, but in enamel. He called himself a healer, a craftsman, a keeper of beautiful mouths. But perfection is hungry, and what he found in the hollow of a corpse's jaw would make even the gods flinch. A scroll hidden in flesh, a scripture written in blood, and a man who learned that every miracle demands a mouth to feed it. So listen carefully, and if your teeth begin to ache as you do, don't touch them. It's only the story getting under your skin. This is Parchment Teeth. Let's step into the darkness.
They say every obsession begins with a small indulgence. Mine began with the conviction that the human mouth was holy. Think of it. The arches of enamel, the delicate pink columns of gum, the way light glints across the smooth surface of a molar, perfect and pale as moonstone. It is a cathedral of flesh, where every tooth stands like a pillar, and every tongue a choir that never stops moving. The body may decay, but the mouth remembers. I was its keeper, its priest, and I demanded devotion. Every patient who sat before me offered a new kind of confession. They gaped, helpless, trusting, while I worked miracles with steel and light. No cavity, no fracture, no crooked imperfection could be allowed to stand. My hands were instruments of purity. I reshaped the flawed. I redeemed the broken. And yet, it was never enough. Perfection is a hunger that gnaws. Once you've seen how beautiful symmetry can be, even the smallest flaw feels like sin. I began to dream of teeth, falling like snow, rolling across my tongue, clicking against each other in whispers only I could hear. It was during a night shift in the hospital morgue that I found the scroll. I'd been called to examine a cadaver whose dental chart didn't match her remains. Bureaucratic curiosity, nothing more. But when I peeled back the linen and saw her face, I knew something was wrong. Her lips were drawn too far back, stretched into a grin that wasn't human, a rictus of mockery. When I pried her jaw open, the smell of dust and old paper met me. Not decay, no. Something older, something waiting. Wedged behind her tongue, Coiled deep within her throat was the scroll. A brittle parchment, yellowed and cracked as though it had been swallowed centuries ago and refused to rot. I remember the texture, the way it flaked against my gloves, the faint pulse of warmth still clinging to it, as though it wanted to be found. The script upon it was sharp and irregular, written in something darker than ink, something that shimmered red when the light caught it. And though the words made no sense, my mouth already knew how to shape them. So I read. Just a single line. And the nurse beside me screamed. Her gloved hands flew to her face as her teeth rattled free, one by one, striking the tiles in a scatter of ivory and blood. They bounced, rolled, gathered around my shoes like offerings. I froze. Until the pain began. My own jaw split open with pressure, gums tearing, bones shifting. But it wasn't agony. It was ecstasy. Each tooth that fell from her mouth was reborn in mine. New, gleaming, perfect. They pressed upward in neat rows, crowding, claiming, rejoicing. Her loss was my gain. My cathedral grew taller, whiter, holier when I looked at her. Gasping, bleeding, toothless. I should have felt horror. Instead, I felt completion. So I read again, and again, and again. Each time the script burned brighter. Each time another voice was silenced. My patients, my colleagues, strangers on the street who lingered too close. The scroll feeds me with their offerings. Their mouths collapse, hollowed chapels, sanctuaries stripped bare, while mine swells with endless pews of bone. I've stopped counting the rows. I can feel them stacked in my skull, pressing into my throat, layered like bricks in a wall. When I close my lips, the pressure hums. When I smile, I hear them whispering. Thousands of tiny clacks echoing from within, each one speaking the same prayer in 100 stolen voices. Do you know what it is to hear your own mouth pray back to you? To feel it move when you sleep? Sometimes I wake to the sound of chewing, soft and rhythmic, and realize it's me. My teeth grinding against themselves, restless, starving for more. I've tried to stop. I've burned the parchment, drowned it, sealed it in glass and concrete. It always finds its way back, between my molars, beneath my tongue, warm as breath, waiting to be read again. And I do read it, because parchment waits. Parchment is patient. Every word is a promise, every syllable a sermon. Do you know what it is to smile and hear the echo of 1,000 whispers clacking inside your own jaw? Do you know the taste of other people's prayers lodged between your teeth? No. Of course you don't. But you will, because when I speak again, when the words crawl free, the air around you will change. You'll taste copper. You'll feel something loosen in your gums, like a secret trying to free itself. And when your first tooth falls, don't scream. Just listen. You'll hear it whisper my name.
Perfection. It begins as worship and ends as consumption. Dr. Calverne sought purity in others, but the only thing he ever truly cleansed was himself of mercy. They say obsession sharpens a man, but it also hollows him, until he becomes the echo of what he adores. Now his cathedral of teeth stands eternal, not in marble nor in scripture, but in the mouths of those who listen. Perhaps you felt it too, a faint pressure behind your gums, a strange ache, like something restless beneath the skin. If you did, don't be afraid. That's how his gospel spreads. Because in the end, the holy and the profane share one truth. Both require believers. Both demand sacrifice. And sometimes they taste the same. I'm Thorne Bloodrose, archivist of the unholy and historian of the damned. You've just heard Parchment Teeth, another tale from the Unknown Chronicles, where devotion decays and the faithful are always hungry. Until next time, keep your mirrors covered, your prayers whispered, and your teeth right where they belong. Good nightmares and sleep tight.